Hey, Laker fans, welcome in, and we got some breaking news for you. Anthony Davis has signed his 5-year, $190 million max contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. Rob Pelinka has done it again. He has brought back the important Laker, and this comes within 24 hours of LeBron James signing his max extension. Now, the reason this is a big surprise is the fact that this is a 5-year deal. We all kind of had the expectation, at least I know I did, that Anthony Davis would sign something like a 1+1 with one guaranteed year and then a player option on the back half, so that he could get the 10-year veterans basically super max contract from the Los Angeles Lakers, and that's not the case, as he has now agreed, as I said, to this 5-year, $190 million max contract that will keep him a Laker until the 2026 offseason, which is absolutely wild. Incredible home run hit for the Lakers that they get to keep their guy, a guy that was really vital to the championship run and was the reason, or really the defensive reason, that this team was so strong on both ends of the floor. Now, I think Anthony Davis is going to be, again, back in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. I think he should have won it last year over Giannis Antetokounmpo, but he did not, and that's okay because he's still the elite player that he is, and I have a feeling he's going to be the guy that leads this team in scoring for the Los Angeles Lakers next year and probably for years to come. At the end of this contract, he'll still be just about 30 years old, which still leaves him plenty of time in his prime and even more time to get another big-time deal with the Los Angeles Lakers after this current one runs out. Now, in the playoffs, remember, Anthony Davis had an awesome run as he averaged 29 points per game, 9 boards, 4 assists, shot better than 57% from the field, and was doing it all on the defensive end. And if they get that version of Anthony Davis again in the regular season, I'm picking the Lakers to repeat in 2021. But what do you guys think? Are they going to be the champions next season? Remember, this team is completely revamped. They already won it one year, and now they've won it again, or they have a chance to win it again in 2021. So if you think the Lakers will repeat in 2021, type Y for yes. If you don't think they will, if you're going to pick somebody else to win the championship, type your in for no. And if you want more breaking news just like this one with Anthony Davis signing his 5-year max contract, make sure you subscribe to the Lakers Report, because this is the best place to get all breaking Lakers coverage. And if you haven't turned on your notifications yet, you're going to want to do that as well, because we're putting videos out basically every single day, sometimes twice a day if the news is important enough. So hit that notification bell and make sure you subscribe. We are almost to 30,000 subscribers, and we want to get there with your help. So go ahead, scroll on down and hit that big red button. Now let's break down this contract a little bit more and what it looks like as a whole. So this next year he'll be making $33 million. Then that'll up to 35, and then up to 38 mil in 2022, 2023. Then he gets his nice little bump all the way up to $40 million in 2024. And then where it does get interesting, and I know I misspoke earlier and said the 2026 offseason, I'm at the 2025 offseason, he will have a player option in 2024, 2025, which feels like a made-up year at this point in time. But he has a player option worth $43 million. So, if he faces a little bit of injury, if he takes a little bit of a step backwards, he can just opt right into that. But if he is continuing to play at the trajectory he's at and being a top 5 player, he might opt out and get even more money from some other team, or maybe he re-ups with the Los Angeles Lakers. But what we know right now is for at least the next 4 years, Anthony Davis is going to be wearing the purple and gold. The player option, I don't think it should concern anybody. I think everybody should just be happy with the fact that this isn't a 1+1 deal and he has the option to leave. I'm also a little bit surprised that he didn't sign for as long as LeBron's extension runs through, which of course runs through 2023. He's saying, no, I don't care about LeBron. I'm making my decision independent of LeBron James, and I'm going to make my own deal, and I'm going to stay a member of the Los Angeles Lakers for as long as I can. And, he's coming back to this team that just revamped their starting 5. They look as strong as ever. They look stronger than they did last year. Remember, Avery Bradley was your starting point guard going into last season, with Rajon Rondo getting a big bulk of those minutes. They were cycling between 2 centers in Marc Gasol and Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, and now they have a solidified starting center who has started 98% of the games he has played in Marc Gasol, who will be the big man in the middle that, in all honesty, is a perfect fit with this team. And, again, A lot like JaVale McGee did last year. I don't think Marc Gasol is going to play as many minutes, and it'll be more Montrezl Harrell in that middle position. But all that matters now is that you have your two core guys locked in for a long time coming in LeBron James and Anthony Davis. LeBron at least until 2023. And as I just mentioned, Anthony Davis until probably the 2025 offseason. And if AD is there, there's really nothing else to worry about. I think this is the year the keys get handed over to Anthony Davis, and he is the guy that leads this team in scoring. But if you disagree, that's okay. That's what the Laker Report is all about, is we want to ask you guys and engage with y'all in the comment section. Who do you think is averaging more points per game this next season? Type LBJ for LeBron James, who just received his 3-year maximum contract extension, or type AD if you think it's Anthony Davis, who just signed his 5-year maximum contract extension for $190 million. I think if you're a Laker fan, and I think for the Lakers as a whole, you want Anthony Davis to be the guy averaging more points per game because he's the guy who's going to be there a little bit longer and has, honestly, still a higher ceiling than LeBron at this point. So, type AD if you think AD averages more points. Type LBJ if you think LeBron averages more points per game next year. And now let me tell you about our friends over at Fanatics before we talk a little bit more about this Lakers offseason. When you go to chatsports.com/LakersMask, you can get these masks for $15. That's right, these brand new masks. Or maybe you want a 2-pack. Guess what? $20, even more bang for your buck at that point, and you can get them today. The season's right around the corner. I mean, literally, it starts in like 19 days, basically, for the Lakers. And so you got to get a mask because you want to rep your Lakers every single day. And I know you got to wear that mask every single day. So you might as well go get them at an awesome price at chatsports.com/LakersMask. These also make awesome stocking stuffers for all your friends and family. So go get yours today at chatsports.com/LakersMask. Now let's break down the players that were added to this Laker team, the championship Laker team that is. First of all, it was Montrezl Harrell, who is the Sixth Man of the Year, and Dennis Shroder, who is the runner-up for Sixth Man of the Year. And they get him in two different ways. They sign Montrez for the mid-level exception, and they trade for Dennis Shroder for basically a bag of chips. And then Marc Gasol, they go out and get him on a minimum contract, which was honestly just an awesome deal all around for both sides involved in that one. Wesley Matthews comes here on a minimum contract as well in free agency. And then they also traded for Alfonzo McKinnie. Now, I don't expect Alfonzo McKinnie to really make much of an impact, but if you need some wing depth, if a couple guys go down, if KCP is down for a couple games and Wesley Matthews isn't playing up to par, Alfonzo McKinnie is a guy that can step in and give you, 10 solid minutes a night if you really need him to. These are all the guys that are going to be guaranteed on the roster next year. Remember, they waived Jordan Bell after acquiring him in that JaVale McGee trade. But there were some players lost this offseason, so we have to at least acknowledge the fact that Rondo, he's gone. Their backup point guard is no more, but they still bring in Dennis Shroder. And Avery Bradley, who was their starting point guard, he signs with the Miami Heat, the team they literally faced in the finals. JaVale and Dwight Howard both leave on different terms. JaVale McGee is traded to Cleveland to make room for Marc Gasol. Dwight Howard, just in the most random move, I think, of the offseason, signs with the Philadelphia 76ers out of nowhere. And Danny Green, well, he was traded to the Thunder from Los Angeles and then traded from the Thunder to the 76ers in a separate deal. All important pieces to a championship team. 110%. I understand they're important, but the guys you got to make up for this player is just absolutely insane. The guys that you got to make up for the players lost, it's just absolutely ridiculous. So let me ask you this question, and we're going to go back to Anthony Davis here. How happy are you that his deal is for 5 years? One being, man, I just wanted him on the 1-year deal. I did not want 5 years for him. I'm actually mad about it. A 10 being, I am through the roof, over the moon, excited that he's going to be a Laker for probably the next 5 years. So give me your scale, 1 to 10. How happy are you that Anthony Davis's deal is worth 5 years and not something like a 1+1 or a 2+1 kind of thing? He is locked in to being a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. And you're getting this version of Anthony Davis back. In fact, I think this is a version, I think you're going to get a better version than Anthony Davis than you did last year, where he averaged 26 points per game and 9 rebounds. And I think, in all honesty, I think he could get above 27, maybe even 28, and average even more rebounds per game on this team, because now your big men, Marc Gasol's solid, Montrezl Harrell's solid, but Dwight and JaVale were eating up some rebounds. I think Anthony Davis has a chance to be even better on the glass. So Laker fans, Anthony Davis is going to be a Laker for the next 5 years. I know you're ecstatic, and good for you. AD is back.